From This Corner with John Ball is brought to you by KNEO 91.7 FM, The Word.
Welcome to a special edition of From This Corner. I'm your host, John Ball, and this is on a Friday. And we have City Manager David Kennedy here, and he wants to talk about something that is going to come up on Tuesday, April the 5th, that it means a whole lot to a whole lot of people, specifically residents in Neosho. David, thank you so much for being here.
John, I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk. Like you said, we've got a couple propositions coming up on the April 5th ballot, one of which is it's proposition number 1, deals with a charter amendment. Basically what this charter amendment deals with is voting. It's council members voting. Right now, the way it stands, the way the charter is written, the circuit clerk will call a roll call and in an alphabetical order of the councilman, and then they will respond with an A or a nay. With some new improvements that we're bringing on to the city, we're doing a big upgrade to our city website. We try to make it a lot more user-friendly for our citizens, and along that comes it's a civic clerk program that also allows electronic voting. So what this amendment does, it just allows the council, allows the city to do either a roll call vote or an electronic voting.
Okay, now when you and I talked before we actually got on the air, you said that right now the city council meetings are on Facebook Live, and you've got a couple of hundred folks that are interested in what's going on, and the better we get with a newer platform, the more opportunity there is for people to really get involved in what's going on in their city, which we should.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we are doing Facebook Live. It's not as stable as what we like. Sometimes there's interruptions. Loss of volume, video, things like that. With this new upgrade, it's going to be a YouTube platform, and what the viewers at home are going to see is they're going to see a split screen. One side they'll be able to view the council members, be able to see what they're doing. If any guests come up to talk, camera will switch, they'll see the guests, and then on the right side of the screen they'll actually view the agenda item. And then once the vote has taken place, then this is when the electronic voting steps in, that it will actually show a screen up there to show what each member voted.
Well, Neosho's has the luxury of being a charter city for many, many years, but this is kind of one of those little, maybe mousy holes, if you would, that's going to improve the entire process, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're following our charter, following our bylaws, and in order to do this, we need to do a charter amendment.
Okay, so that's number 1. What's number 2?
The second one is going to be Proposition A. Proposition A deals with a online use tax for the residents of Neosho, for city limit residents. Basically what this is, with society changing, our purchasing changing, there's a lot more online purchasing going on. E-commerce right now references about 15% of sales are now being conducted online. Right now, the city has a local sales tax of 3%. If you go to Walmart, you go to any business in Neosho, you will pay that 3% sales tax. And what that 3% sales tax does, it helps Neosho maintain its infrastructure, maintain its roads, its parks, its police, fire. When we purchase online, we are not capturing a 3% sales tax, which is a loss of revenue to the city for us to continue to maintain our efforts at what we're trying to do.
Well, what it does, in effect, if this bill does not pass, it gives those online services outside the state of Missouri a competitive edge, even though it is 3%. Hey, 3% is 3%, isn't it?
Absolutely. And yeah, it's a good point, because this use tax only deals with businesses outside of the state of Missouri, and that that are over $100,000 worth of revenues for their company.
Now, we're thinking that's going to generate approximately how much money for us?
We're estimated from DOR, Department of Revenue, that that's going to bring in roughly about $134,000 a year. And if this is passed, then we will continue to be able to assess sales tax on vehicles that are purchased outside of the state of Missouri. If this doesn't pass, we're automatically going to lose around $23,000 for that.
Okay, now we're not the one that's cutting the trail here. There's Joplin, there's Carthage, there's Carl Junction, there's Webb City, there's Nixa, there's West Plains, and I think you said well over 200 cities throughout the state that are actually doing this right now.
Correct. There are a couple hundred cities right now that their jurisdictions have passed the use tax. They see the importance in this to continue their infrastructure, their city government operations, and still be able to facilitate the needs and the wants of our public.
Well, I know many years ago, any time that we passed anything that got us a little bit of revenue, the citizens were thinking, okay, we're going to be able to use that revenue right now, the day after the election. That's not necessarily the case, is it?
No, that's not correct. Let's say this does pass April 5th. The Department of Revenue usually states that within a quarter or the next quarter, you will start receiving that. So April is the start of a new quarter. So it would be April, May, June. So possibly the 1st of July, into July, you would start seeing some revenue from this tax.
So in order to vote on April the 5th, you have to be a citizen inside the city limits of Neosho, right?
Correct.
Okay, and we would certainly look for you to go vote and take advantage of that anytime you've got a chance to vote. I think it's important. It's your duty and your responsibility.
Absolutely.
Okay, anything else that you can think of at this point, David?
I don't think so.
All right, well, the message is pretty clear. We've got two different questions. One of them happens to be a charter amendment that will aid, and I tell you what, technology is just so great. And I'm kind of an old guy anyway, so most people are 6 months behind. I'm about 5 years and 6 months behind. But this type of technology is going to make it easier for people to get on the city website. It's going to make it easier for people to see city council meetings. They'll be able to see. Now, with this electronic voting, will they still be able to tell who votes what way?
Absolutely, yes. If you're in the council chambers, you will see a screen on it's on the west wall of the council chambers, and it'll be displayed on there. If you are at home on your phone or on a tablet, you're going to get a split screen. You're going to see the council on one side, and then you're going to see the agenda and the voting tabulation on the other.
Okay. And then the other question has to do with the use tax, not of people in the city of Neosho. It's only on those purchases made online of companies outside the city.
Outside the state.
Outside the state, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, and that vote will be taken on April the 5th, and we'll tabulate, and we should have results sometime shortly thereafter, right?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, David, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you explaining that, and we might say for anybody who still wonders, has doubts, they can maybe call City Hall, and that number is?
Absolutely. They can call 417-451-8050. They can ask for me. They can ask for Cheyenne Wright. We will answer any questions that they have.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
From This Corner with John Ball has been brought to you by KNEO 91.7 FM, The Word. You can watch this episode and many previous episodes of From This Corner on our YouTube channel, linked to our website at www.kneo.org.